Hey, hey, welcome to the live. I'm excited to read for y'all. So, here's the big news. Maria knew. Maria knew exactly what was going down. That is the accurate truth. So, it's been a couple days, and now this morning a couple of hours worth of downloads. So I'll have more to say about this. But here's the headline. Chiron is going to go retrograde July 30th. And he'll be retrograde for about 6 months until basically New Year, right? January 2nd of next year. Chiron has been hanging out in Aries since 2018. So I would love for us to think back to what was going on in 2018 and also 2019, because it entered Aries in 2018, but it went retrograde back into Pisces for a good long while and then re-entered again in 2019, February 2019. So reflect on what was going on in my life at that time. Specifically with Chiron and Aries, it's about the fight for the right to be ourselves, the right to assert ourselves without guilt, which is implied by Chiron, right? So you can take this a little deeper by looking at which house Aries rules in your chart. So is this about your identity? Is this about your money? Is it about relationships and like, hey, I have a right to be myself. I have my own needs and the painful struggle to assert that, right? That's Chiron. And where, Spirit said a few weeks ago, pain is a portal, and to resist pain is to resist the way through, like to the other side of the pain. And actually, like ironically, that's when the pain eases up and you can move past it, move forward, whatever. This retrograde period is an ideal time to do some integration. It's like a crucially missed step. When we think about healing, we think about like active healing. I'm in therapy. I'm doing this, and that. Hey, hey. Yay! It's great to see you, Tammy. I'm excited to see you. Sorry, y'all. I get excited. Integration. People, go have a mushroom or ayahuasca experience and then come home and, go right back to work. And they might have had all these amazing downloads. Oh, I need to change this. I got to do this. I'm no longer aligned with that. And then you go back to your regular life and you tend to be pulled by the tide of normality back to whatever you were doing before. You've been in that shadow period. And you don't want to lose what this period has been teaching you. You've got a little more time. Chiron won't fully leave Aries because he's gonna dance into Taurus. He's gonna just kiss the sign of Taurus and then back into Aries. So we won't be out all the way. We won't be into Chiron and Taurus till 2027. You've got a little more time. Use it for what it's for, like actually being able to move forward. And so, yeah, it's funny. I know, like, we're talking about Chiron retrograde, but Mercury retrograde, the timing is all happening. It's nothing is happening independently. These retrogrades are not happening in a vacuum. Think about the fact that Chiron retrograde in Aries, fire sign. Mercury retrograde in Leo, fire sign. Self-expression, sovereignty, boldness, assertion. I am allowed to be who I am, right? They have things in common. So check which houses those signs rule in your chart and think about what that might be pointing out to you. I really appreciate bringing up Mercury retrograde because it, again, adds to the layers and the poignancy, and you might be able to see, oh, okay, so I see the relationship between these two houses. And then I'm being asked to reflect and reevaluate and, again, integrate what this is pointing out to me, what this has been showing me. So Chiron, right, is like active healing. Retrograde, like I said, integrating it, actually processing it. Like, what does this actually mean for my life? What do I actually need to begin doing or stop doing because of what I've learned from this? Or what do I want to start looking into or whatever? Don't ignore it. Really grab it and use it. The transit will pass. And so the good advice with astrology is always to like lean into the skid. Whatever it is doing for us, don't resist it. Resistance is futile and it's also more painful. So go with the fact that you're being asked to reflect. Like, damn, I really have been processing this for 7 freaking years. What have I learned? Where am I different than that time? Okay? Okay. 2018, 2019. Reflections time. All right. That's enough Chiron talk, I think. Let's get into the daily forecast for this week. Man, I know time is a flat circle, but it also feels like it is flying. So, Spirit, knowing that all of this Aries emphasis, all of this Gemini emphasis is making things feel fast and hot. And we would like to dial in and down to this moment. Hey, Lexi, happy to see you. You're right on time. We are just getting started with the weekly. And we want to start with today. I want to pull again 2 cards for each day so I can get a little more layer, a little more nuance of the Venn diagram of each of these days. What we need to know, dial into, bring awareness to, always for our highest good. Please keep that, because that sets the tone that even if we see a 5 of Swords, we see a Tower, that's for our highest good. It is not to scare us. It is not to make us fixate and obsess about this thing that is going to go wrong. It's okay. So I need to be really centered on Wednesday when that 5 of Swords pops up so that I don't pop off to the wrong person or say something I can't take back or whatever. Okay? Okay. This is down-to-earth divination, right? This is pragmatic fucking shit. Erudite. Classy. Okay, let's go. Thank you, Spirit. You know the map. You know the cosmology. Let's bring it down to earth, Spirit. The collective wave that all of us can expect to experience over the course of this week. Please bring our awareness to that which serves our alignment, authenticity, fulfillment, peace. Ooh, tell us the truth, Spirit, always and only for our highest good. What are we working with, and how can we best work with it? You know, I'm already hearing, I haven't turned over these cards yet because I like to find them out with y'all. I'm already hearing that, you know, I was talking about the switching of these generational signs. Hey, El Cabong. Hey, Fernando. Happy to see y'all. Is, you know, we're switching from earth and water, you know, Pluto out of, Pluto out of Capricorn into Aquarius, Neptune out of Pisces, Saturn out of Pisces, both into Aries. We're entering this windy, fiery era, and it's more important than ever. You're gonna hear me say it a lot because Spirit says it to me every fucking day. So if that I gotta get drilled, y'all gotta get drilled, okay? Like, it is so necessary to ground and regulate yourself. There is so much going on. Ground, regulate, take care of your nervous system. Take care of like your breath rate, your heart rate. Be conscious of these things. And if you notice you're getting anxious, you notice your heart is pounding, breathe in for 4, out for 8. Go step outside, take 5 minutes and take a little walk. Feel the sun on your face. Ground yourself in the 5 senses. Ground yourself in the earth. You are an earthling. Like it or not, we're all here. None of us gets out of here alive. Okay, so ground yourself. Use what the earth is offering you. We can forget because we're socialized to think in a way that's like, earth is almost something that gets in our way. It's dirty, it's hot or cold or like uncomfortable or whatever. Earth is giving us fucking everything that we need, and we lose sight of some of the things that she, it, whatever you want to say, gender neutral, all gendered earth offers us everything that we need. And the key is to ask for it. If you need extra help grounding when you go outside, please actually tune into the frequency of asking for that help. Even if you don't know if it's going to work, even if you don't believe that it's going to work. You know how when you were a kid and you used to go outside and pretend that you were stirring up potions? Just do that. Just let it go. Just do that. And then just see if you feel any different. And call it placebo effect and whatever. Call it that. Who cares? Placebo effect. Let's talk about it. If the placebo effect means that when I think about healing myself, I can heal myself, doesn't that just mean I have a natural self-healing mechanism in my body that I can unlock when I really tune in and think about it? So call it whatever you want, but use it. Hey, Jennifer. Okay, just a couple more cards. Spirit is definitely on fire because it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we chatted. Just a couple more, Spirit. Let's finish out the week. What we need to know for our highest good, Spirit. Show us the truth of what is coming. Bring it to our awareness so that we can use it to our best advantage. Let's see what we got. Yay. Good Sunday vibes, as almost always. Interesting. Wow. I know, I'm so sorry. Y'all, I probably sound the exact same every week. Interesting. Wow. But it's like, it's genuine. It's like each and every time. Okay. Wow. Something a lot a bit transformative, kind of epic happening this weekend. We're working up to it through the week. I see why Spirit was discussing all of the themes at the beginning of the video, as always, talking about Chiron. I could have waited till next week to talk about Chiron because it's not going retrograde till July 30th. You know what I mean? So when it popped in, it was like, wait, I could talk about Mercury retrograde. That is happening right now. It just started, etc. But when Spirit is telling me to talk about something, it's like, it doesn't matter, whatever my human brain is like, but doesn't this make more sense? Like, bitch, you don't make no sense. So just, just say what you're feeling. Okay. So, beautiful energy for today. The Fool and the Two of Cups. So what Spirit is really having me focus on is leaving the cave, leaving the dark, and bonding, sharing your experience with other people, gathering with people who you can exchange your cups with in whatever way. So, you know, you're here doing it, right? There's other people in this chat that you might engage with, or the messages that you might engage with, but I also encourage you to reach out to the actual human beings. And that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, is some of us are going to be reaching out to somebody that we've been thinking about reaching out to today. It feels like a gimme now because, you know, Spirit is laying on top of that. Yeah, Mercury retrograde, girl. Like, yeah, we're talking about it. So that urge to reach out and, my God, the cliche, to reach out and touch someone. But they're using that because the Two of Cups is like touching. It's not just like, oh, hey, bro, how are you doing? Well, how about them Cowboys or whatever? It's like, let's talk about our feelings. How are you doing? Where have you been? What's going on with you? And the Fool is brand new perspective. We're talking about Chiron going retrograde in Aries, and the Fool is setting the baggage on fire, taking a fresh start. So who might be a good person for you to process with? Maybe you even hook up with this person and talk about like what has been going on for you through the Chiron retrograde. Just curious. Might be something worth talking about. So, as always, Monday has a little bit more of, it's really interesting to do these week by week. Always has a little bit of a vibe of like, okay, now I got to be a little bit more on my guard, or a little bit more, a little less happy-go-lucky, a little bit more like, okay, now we're shifting into the work week. So I actually really love to see this combination. 7 of Swords, 6 of Swords. Hey, so what have you been carrying that is not yours to carry? What battle would you like to leave behind? I feel honestly, for some people, this is not even like, you know how in an online community they might say like, you don't need to announce that you're leaving the online community. You could just go. You could just say, oh, this space is not for me anymore, and you could just leave. I'm hearing, this is not a space for me anymore, and I can just leave. I don't want to fight for this. I don't want to associate with this anymore. It's okay for you to walk away from things that just don't feel like your fight, your problem. That's just what I'm hearing. Spirit talked right at the beginning about like dealing with any guilt that we have for asserting our own needs or whatever it is. And Spirit's like, take it and go. You don't need to feel guilty. If this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. Yes, the good old Irish goodbye. Hey, fellow Irish person. So, Six of Swords. Once you leave, you're going to feel so much freer. You are going to have brighter, clearer days on the other side of letting go of this, of leaving the battle behind, right? What did I need to learn from this? How can I use it to get where I'm going? That's the whole Chiron retrograde thing that they opened with. This battle was tough or I wouldn't be leaving. And if I have to sneak off in the night, that means that I might have to deal with consequences, right? If I do it out in the open. So I prefer to take what's mine and just make my way off. But if you are too busy looking over your shoulder, worrying about coulda, woulda, shoulda, maybe I should have done this, God, is it going to be okay if I do that? You might get bitten, okay? It might reach out and bite you. So really, think about what is my responsibility, my business, and what's not. What can I truly let go of without guilt or regret and say, like, that is somebody else's. That is somebody else's. I'm hearing something very specific. Of course, this won't apply to everybody. I'm feeling like somebody is dealing with a close friend or even like family member, because it feels super close, who is, they're inconsolable. It's like there's no helping them. At no point has your help or your input or your presence brought this person to a better place, or like the advice has not, gotten in anywhere, like all that kind of thing. And this is not true for everybody. Some of us are okay with that. Some of us are like, okay, I'm okay with that person being like that. They're kind of a negative Nancy, whatever. But some of us are feeling extremely drained and done with it. And kind of like, I can't fight for you. I can't want your sobriety more than you do. I can't want your happiness more than you do. This actually isn't my fight. And I might actually be acting in maybe like even like a codependent type of way, where like, if you're okay, I'm okay. And if you're not okay, I'm not okay. And maybe I need to fucking drop that shit. So for whomever that applies, and that metaphor might just help a few of us know, like, oh, okay, so this is something where I'm picking up somebody else's weight or battle and I can let it go. So again, what will you learn from this, and how will you use it to navigate from here on out? Ugh, I never want to get into that situation again. So now here's a new principle that I'm going to use as a guiding principle. Whenever I make friends, I don't bring business in. Or whenever I hang out with this person, we're not going to talk about my job because all they do is get envious, or whatever it is. Like, these are just the things I'm hearing. So handle it the way that you need to handle it. Use the only way, like the only positive or silver lining or usefulness we can get out of pain is, okay, now what did that teach me? And I'm kind of a huge proponent for like, I'm gonna get something out of this. Nah. I'm not going through a bullshit relationship or a really difficult period or a health issue or whatever it is and not get something good out of it. So that's kind of my philosophy here. Take something from this and use it in your next relationships or in your next jobs or whatever. Now, beautifully, Tuesday, this was one of my wows. These cards have been shuffled infinite times, but we have a double ace on Tuesday, double new beginning, something coming in with a bang, something that could really flourish. Now, what do the aces have in common? They need tending. They need proper containers if they're going to amount to anything. So this is something like, a classic Ace of Pentacles would be, you get a little bit of money. Maybe it's somebody's birthday, or, a distant relative you've never even met passes away and gives you a few $1,000s, right? The dream, right? And you could just spend the couple thousand or hundred or whatever it is dollars, or you could say, how can I make this work for me? How could I invest this, or how could I use this to improve my life and raise my standard, right? And make this money work for me. And the same would be true for the Ace of Wands. How can I take this bolt or burst of inspiration or action or just drive, right? Like, ooh, I don't know. I just have, you ever get those waves of motivation that sort of come out of nowhere where it's like, I don't know why this is the day that I'm able to get up and put on the workout clothes and go do the thing, but fuck it. Like, I'll take a switch flip, right? But then you want to capitalize on it. You want to make the most of it. So seize whatever, like the little bump in income or the little like, hey, here's, this is just what they're saying. It's like somebody saying, hey, here's my old sewing machine. Here's my old whatever. And it's like, oh, well, I guess I could like use this and parlay it into something. So when the goodness comes, when the gifts are handed to you, right? Indicated by these mythical, lovely hands where again, it feels like, where did this even come from? This is so cool. Don't let it be a flash in the pan. Again, use it, integrate it. What do I want to do with this? That seems to be kind of a theme for the week. So Tuesday, make a little note on your calendar, put a little asterisk somewhere or a little post-it. It's like something good is happening here and I really want to, I don't want to miss it. That's another thing with the aces is, like I said, a flash in the pan. It could just be here and then gone. This opportunity could be here and then gone. So it's like, don't hide from the world, be available, be receptive. That's something that I'm hearing. So that wouldn't be the day to hermit. There will be a day to hermit. We will talk about it. Wednesday. We had double aces on Tuesday. Wednesday, we have double major arcana. Holy shit. So when I say that seize this, and if you really grab it and parlay it, you can make it into something great. You could have a pretty significant epiphany. And epiphany should be followed by commitment. If I have a realization, the worst thing to do is ignore it or be like, well, maybe, but nah, maybe not. Like, no. Judgment, we're doing a little bit of a spoiler for the future reading, okay? If you don't make the judgment, you get the tower. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. These, like if we were taking an SAT test, those phrases like this equals that. When you see something, say something, do something, make a move. Don't see it and go like, oh, damn, I am codependent. Well, now to go on with my life as it is. Like, do something, right? Make a choice based on whatever this revelation is. Make a choice and commit to it with your whole self, right? Body, mind, soul. That's what the angel and the masculine and feminine figures integrate, like they spell integration. Body, mind, and soul. This is what I know. This is what is true for me. And nothing is going to feel as satisfying as walking in your authenticity. Not money, not status, whatever. Like if you know that you need to say something, do something, start something, stop something, because it's going to make you lead a bolder, more passionate, excited life, then you got to do it. We're not here forever, right? Time is limited. You're getting a wake-up call. You're being given the things that you need. You're becoming aware of things that might be weighing you down or keeping you from getting where you want to go, and you're willing to get them out of your way. Now, here's something else we don't talk about. When you start healing, and I mean start, as in like you've just been kind of bumping through life, not even realizing that you have like something going on that is really significant and is like impacting your life, like the way that I form relationships or whatever, right? Wow. I understand. And you know what? Full disclosure, before I said it, that phrase entered my mind. So I don't know if I, picked it up from you or if I too, from like being a 1984 baby myself and then like grew up in the height of like women should not have a uterus because that should be like a fucking washboard, like straight down. Like, what the fuck? Anyhow, the thing that happens when we start to heal is it gets worse before it gets better. Bopping through life not realizing that we have a big fucking problem there's a reason why we didn't want to realize we had that problem, or that we needed to make this decision, right? Bopping through a relationship, like it's good enough, it's fine, it's okay. And then maybe we get the bolt from the blue that like, hey, this is not okay, actually. Actually, I'm zombieing through the one life I have as this version of myself, right? Your soul is eternal, you get infinite chances, but this one is unique. Starting to heal or making the choice to be more authentic, often things get worse before they get better, but they get much fucking better, okay? But we do have to go through the part where it's kind of like we disintegrate in order to integrate. You know what I'm saying? So feeling like, okay, it's time to do the thing can feel really high, like high energy or high excitement or high positivity. And then comes when actually getting up in the morning and putting on the shoes and doing the workout. Dun, dun, dun. Or asserting our needs with the person that we're in a relationship with, because we're like, hey, if I can't be myself with this person, then, you know, I'm going to ultimately have to leave them. So let me go ahead and see what happens when I start being myself. Maybe we can make it work as I start being more of who I am. And you feel their disappointment or their rejection or their wish for you to get back in your box or whatever it is. And you realize, oh yeah, there was a reason that I was kind of ignoring that or operating without getting into all of that, or simply getting up and doing the workout. And it's like, oh God, oh, this part sucks. Oh, where's the part where I feel fit and energetic and excited about doing this shit and it's not hard? Well, it's on the other side of the hard, right? And the same thing with the healing. It's on the other side of the work, is feeling like somebody shut off 100,000 tabs that your computer had open. You know, like, oh, finally I feel, oh my God, is this what I actually feel like? And all of this coming back to Saturn and Neptune entering Aries recently, Chiron about to go retrograde in Aries. So there's a strong, who am I? Kind of Zeitgeist happening. Who am I really? And who I am is what I do, right? And doing it is hard. Doing it is harder than thinking about it. Doing it is harder than knowing that you need to do it. Doing it is harder than sometimes zombieing through life. And so many of us will choose to continue to zombie through life. And no fucking, no blame, no shame, no judgment. I know that it might not sound like that. That might sound extremely like, what? But it's true. Some people never come out as gay, right? And they stay married to their opposite sex spouse because, like, this is what mom and dad wanted, and it's actually not worth it to me. The risk reward, when I think about the reward of being myself, I would rather stay in my cocoon in this lifetime. Maybe next lifetime, I'll butterfly. This lifetime, I'm going to continue to cocoon. No blame, no shame, no judgment. Spirit wouldn't judge you, right? So Thursday, you might be feeling the repercussions of the epiphany, the choice, even the Seven of Swords of leaving something or dropping something. And I want to tell you that if you are acting in alignment with yourself, if you really fucking believe in what you're doing, the pain will be worth the outcome, okay? If the pain comes from doing something you don't want to do, then don't do it, okay? But I'm just saying, looking at the rest of these cards, I feel like, if anything, this is a week where self-actualization, and again, whenever Spirit wants to talk about something, it's like, this is what I'm getting at this. Self-actualization. That's what the Aries shit is here for. And once we are actualized for ourselves, we're so much more available for collective action, okay? So I'm not talking, like, we're not leaving collective action and collective belonging off of the list. These transits are happening for all of us and asking all of us to wake the fuck up. Like, we've been atomized, we've been separated, we don't remember how to be a molecule and come together anymore. So we're about to get a big fucking refresher course, and you know, the rise of fascism is a big fucking refresher course on, hey, remember you fucking need each other? Remember your individual beliefs and all that shit doesn't mean shit if everybody in power can just stomp a steel-toed boot on you? Anyway. Shit. Okay, so Thursday, the repercussions. 3 swords, 3 empty cups. Remember that there are still cups available. They are good. There are fat, juicy grapes available to juice into the cups and sip from. So please, you know, mourn what you need to mourn. Feel the pain that you need to feel. I'm not rushing you past it, not by any means. Like, we're talking about it needs to be processed so that we can be through with it, truly, right? And in that, please do not lose sight of all that is good and all that is available to you, okay? And truly take your head out of your hands and drink from it when you can. And be careful that you are not breaking your own heart and kind of like, let me break my own heart, so in this false belief that it will hurt less if I do it than if I let somebody else do it. Okay? Like, I'm just saying, like, don't tell yourself it can't happen, but let them tell you it can't happen. That's just what I'm hearing. Okay, Friday. I said that something pretty epic kicks off around the weekend, right? And that commitment of Wednesday into the heartbreak of Thursday into unmistakable change on Friday. The Tower and the Hermit. Once again, we have double major arcana. I have shuffled these cards infinite times. They are all mixed together, so this is exactly what it is. I find it interesting that we see in this configuration, the Hermit is walking away from the Tower, right? These cards could have come through like this instead, and we could be seeing the Hermit walk toward the Tower. The Tower is falling, and this Hermit is saying like, yep, that is happening. And kind of like the action movie where the person is walking away from the big explosion without flinching. This Hermit is like, yeah, and I'm on my journey. This shit is crumbling down. Institutions are crumbling down. Positions of power are crumbling down. My idea of the society that I lived in is crumbling down. What is that asking me to do? As Spirit referred to earlier, it is asking me to go deeper into who the fuck am I really? What do I believe in? I can get swept away. I can get swept away in the madness and the terror, because that is what this is calling, right? It's calling forth this madness and this terror of like, what can I do? There's nothing to do. It's all horrible. Like, what? We're powerless. Da, 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 da. You are no good to anybody when you feel like that, right? So we have to tune in deeply to ourselves, to our beliefs, to our values. What is my road? Let me not get just drawn in. Word. Oh my God, I need to watch that movie again, Tammy. Thank you for bringing some lightness into this. Go on your journey. I don't mean don't be distracted, because nobody could not be distracted by the Tower. And it's not as if like the Tower is not worth paying attention to. But it is not worth standing there and just being like, wow, it's really falling, isn't it? Yeah, it's really falling. And just like, that's it, and being hypnotized by it. Go within. Tend to your intuition. Tend to your sense of self. That's really what I'm hearing with that Hermit, is like, the Tower is falling. Everyone's going to be freaking out. It's going to be a cultural, like we all feel it already. This collective wave of like fear, anxiety, like the shakiness of what is happening in the world right now. And again, this is why Spirit is asking us to root into, who am I really? When I die and I go watch the movie of my life, what do I want to look back on and see? I want to see myself being true to myself even though I was scared, or being true to my ideals even though the whole world was actually saying that's fucked up and like we're gonna punish you for that. Saturday, we might get, Friday, this Tower Day, we might get another earth-shaking announcement, right? Another scary, world-shaking event. Root deeper so that you are not knocked over. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Okay, and then Saturday. This is encouraging, even though it continues the theme. So, 10 of Swords, followed by 9 of Pentacles. This would be like kind of a classic breakup combination. Ten of Swords, the end of the end of a long, painful chapter. Finally putting something to bed that was screaming for a nap years ago. Okay, like that's how Spirit is putting it. And then Nine of Pentacles, standing happily, proudly alone. And this is truly like the single and happy card. Now, I don't mean that literally we're all going to be breaking up with people, but I do mean that we will be walking away from something and standing on our own 2 feet. Hello. Walking away from something that was really hard and choosing to stand our own 2 feet, to continue to believe in ourselves, continue to be oriented to ourselves and what we can do as an example. Because again, this feeling of like scariness, powerlessness, what can I do? This is also fucked up. I don't have any money. I don't have any power. What can I do? You can still do something. You can still offer a kind word, $1, your listening ear, your phone banking, whatever, like whatever it is for you that you can do to know that like I'm contributing to the kind of world that I want to create. I'm living the kind of life and existence that, again, I will be proud of when this shit is over. Use what you learn from the difficult situation and let it make you more of yourself, not less. Let it guide you to where you are actually trying to go. Spirit is saying this in like a way that I could never make it as eloquent. But essentially, it's like when you go through the pain of what it takes to truly be yourself, you won't even need, oh my God, and there came the love of my life, and there came $1 million, and there came the booming business because I was like aligned with myself and true to myself. That feeling is reward enough. That feeling of nobody could shake me off of who I am and who I choose to be. Not money, not love, not lust, not status, not whatever, because I know who the fuck I am and I do who the fuck I am, right? That feeling is its own reward, and Spirit is like, pursue that. Nine of Pentacles is also literal financial wealth, tangible rewards, tangible skills, and recognition for those skills. So 10 of Swords, if one door fucking closes, or if you close that door, you need to know that there is ample opportunity because you have built ample skills, and because you have, the more that you invest in being solid and rooted into who you are, who you choose to be, the more that you blossom into something that is unshakable and yet organic. Not like a tower, because a tower is very shakeable. Okay, more to say on that, but that's for another video that I'm in the process of creating. So why don't we get into our elemental forecast? Let's fucking go. So let's start with the fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. A few of the signs that will be feeling even more keenly that Chiron in retrograde. I want to dial in, Spirit, to know the overall theme for the fire signs this week. What do you want to bring to their attention for their highest good? Stalker number 1. Let's see what else we got. What about money? Money, jobs, resources, opportunities. For Aries, Leo, Sagittarius people. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Okay. What about thoughts and communication, Spirit? The nature of their mind. What's going on in their heads? Jesus, please us. Okay. In the realm of the heart. Emotions, relationships, connections. Okay. And finally, Spirit, their own element, their energy, their drive, their spirit. What do the fire signs need to know? Wow. So 3 stalker cards in your spread. Let's talk about it. The Hermit is your main card. Trust and believe in yourself. And normally, yes, I would say not to the exclusion of others, but actually in this case, yes, I say close the laptop. Some of y'all might even have been considering like taking like a social media detox, and I think that that would be highly advisable. I think it would be really great for you to get into your own energy, into like your hobbies, your skills, your gifts, your interests. Like, it's time to invest in myself is really what I'm hearing really loud and clear with both of these cards. Please notice that the Hermit is the original 9, right? The granddaddy, grandmommy of all of the 9s, 9 of Pentacles. So tuning into myself, appreciating my own gifts, the fruits of my labor, appreciating myself, and I'm hearing moving with that. Let's talk about why. So money, skills, looks fantastic. Believe in yourself, invest in yourself, appreciate yourself, all used in the punny money ways, okay? That creates movement. That creates opportunity and flow. So 6 of Swords was again also in our weekly reading, that card of taking what we need to learn from a bad or tough or just long, difficult situation, taking what we need to know. We don't need to carry the wound, right? To carry the lesson. So it's pulling the swords out and using them to know where we're trying to go. Reaching a clearer day. So you have come through something difficult is what I'm hearing. And so, as you know, Spirit alluded to in the beginning, and again, this makes sense because this is going for the fire signs. What have you like integrated and learned, especially I'll say over the course of Chiron and Aries, over since 2018 and 2019? What was maybe like a defining event or something that began to ravel or unravel at that point? And what have you learned from it? And what would you do with it? How will you navigate now knowing what you know, right? 6 of Cups, it can bring you into better relationships, better friendships, better romantic relationships, whatever, because 6 of Cups is a very playful energy. It can have romantic implications, but I would say even more than romantic, it has soulmate implications, because soulmates are not all romantic and they're not all necessarily, you know, made to last forever. It's not all about that, right? Soulmate, somebody that we click with, someone that we recognize and that we feel also seen and recognized by. And so we feel more allowed to be our whole self. We have a lot of fun. They make us like bring the walls down is something that I'm hearing. So who would you like to connect with? They might reach out to you, but also reach out to them. If you're feeling it, reach out to them. That's, again, Mercury is retrograde in Leo, so this could be about that as well, where it's like, hey, I miss connecting with that person, or like the magic really stirs up in my life when I connect with this person, so I want to reach out and see how they're doing. A lot of flow. The 6s indicate flow, so I like to see that. Spirit is also using the word maturity with the Hermit and the 9 of Pentacles, so it's like, and they're using it a couple of ways, where it's also like something, even like a project or financially something is reaching its maturity. So that sounds extremely promising. And finally, when it comes to your own energy, there is a focus on making a choice. 2 of Wands, something you've been doing, something you have established, right? It is freestanding on its own. Whereas this other wand is mobile. She's holding it. She could take it somewhere if she wants to. But it is still being in the state of like asking, do I want to take this out there? I'm clearly excited about it. This is an inspiration. Let's harken back to the Ace of Wands that came up, and I think that was for Wednesday. Harken back to like, okay, I do have a great idea. Now, what do I want to do with it? That's where you are, is a choice point. So all the more reason to maybe take a social media detox, so that you're not thinking about like comparing it or like analyzing what other people are doing with theirs and da 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 da. It's like, nope, let me be in my own energy, my own focus, my own container. That's what I hear. So do that for yourself. This is what I'm hearing. Make your container so good that it's like, I wouldn't reach out to anybody except the people that feel like soulmates to me. Like I can be my whole self, and there's no artifice, there's no pretending, there's no games, there's no like, oh, I need to make sure I hide this part of myself or any of that, right? It's like, fun, childlike. Okay. Looks pretty good to me. You have many gifts. Tune into yourself to discover, rediscover, capitalize on those gifts. Okay? Okay. Now let's go to the water signs. Let's talk to Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And a reminder, if you know your full birth chart, it's like you could be an Aries sun, but if you have a Pisces moon, a Cancer, Jupiter, and Mars, whatever it is, water signs will have application to you if you have personal planets there. Bless you, Mama Cat. Can y'all hear my cat sneezing? Bless you. Okay. Ooh, let's tune in for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces spirit. Want to know what you want to bring their attention to, an overall theme showing up this week. What do you want to make them aware of for their highest good spirit? Beautiful card. Okay. Looking at money, skills, jobs, resources, opportunities for the water signs. Okay. And what about their headspace? The way that they're thinking, how they're communicating. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Talk about it in just a sec. Almost there. And how about spirit, their own element, feelings, emotions, relationships for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces people? How are the water people experiencing their own element? Okay. And finally, what about their fire? What about their light? Spirit, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. What is lighting them up or firing them up this week, Spirit? What do you want to bring their attention to in the realm of fire for their highest good? Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Okay, that's really interesting. All right. So, first card up, Strength, Inner Power. And I want to jump straight to a couple of your other cards because this makes total sense. You have the Five of Swords showing up in the realm of the headspace. Five of Swords is very nanny boo boo, stick your head in doo doo type of energy. Like, are we really doing this? Are we not adults? Like, we're talking behind each other's backs? We're like doing little slights. We're dropping little slights and little backhanded remarks in the conversation. How old are we? Like, I thought we were friends, or I thought, coworkers could just behave like normal human beings, or whatever it is. But somebody is acting crazy. Somebody doesn't care how they make anybody else feel. So trying to get this person or this group or this institution to understand, right? Which is usually the way that water signs want to play it. Like, oh, I know that if I can just make them understand how that's hurting me or why that's not fair or whatever, then they'll change. Not with the Five of Swords. Did you hear how quiet it got outside of my house? Right? Like, I say house, my apartment. right when I said that. They don't care. So trying to get somebody else in that situation. And again, the way that you'll know this person or situation is it's extremely immature. It's extremely like, I'm hearing it again. It's like, this is beneath me. I'm too old for this, or I'm too good for this, or like, something else that I'm hearing now, and this is unfortunate. This is definitely not for everybody, but it's like, wow, we're cheating on our girlfriends in our 40s. We're cheating on our wife in our like 50s and 60s. Like, what the fuck? Like, I thought we were. I didn't think this was something I had to worry about past the age of like 28 or whatever, right? Like, I thought that we could just have the conversation and handle it, but somebody is not acting like their age. Somebody is acting like a child. And that's how you'll know the Five of Swords. And just like when a child is throwing a tantrum or kicking and screaming, kicking your shins and telling you I hate you, there's no getting down and being like, okay, little Jimmy, now when you do that, it hurts mommy's feet. That kid is not going to go, oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. And you wouldn't expect them to. So don't expect this person to. You know what I'm saying? So you, with the Strength card, it's time to bring out that inner power. Strength is the opposite of like, put up your fucking dukes and like, come here, we're gonna fuck you up. Like, no, this is like, I'm above this. I am way too good to be upset by this. And if I am upset, you are not worthy of seeing my upset. You are not worthy of witnessing any vulnerability in me. So I'm going to come, I'm going to handle this like the fucking adult that I am, and I'm going to leave you with you take your little ball and go home. I don't want nothing to do with you or your balls. So remember who you are and act like it. Keep your lion trained and right beside you. You might want to go wild on this person. You might want to respond in kind. Five of Swords is a card that asks us to match energy, but matching energy means you don't know who the fuck you are or what you're going to do at any moment, because somebody could just come along and throw you off and make you match their energy, and we're not doing that. We're not doing that. That's not good for us, and that is not in alignment, okay? So stay rooted in who you are, what your values are, how you want to show up no matter what, and take this as like a little nod from the universe and a test to see how well and beautifully and honorably and like with so much dignity that I can show up, that truly this person or anybody that would be around to witness this act would be like embarrassed. Like what I'm hearing, withering, like somebody giving a withering glance, like, and that's like the most that you do. It's like, and they just go, oh God. That's kind of the Strength card, okay? I'm too good for this. I don't need to be thrown by this. On that note, Two of Pentacles, multitasking when it comes to money, jobs, resources, balancing things. The Two of Pentacles can indicate like a little bit of like I said, multitasking of like, oh, I got to get this done and then I got to make this work, and how do I balance these things out? But on the brightest side, it indicates the ability to do that. And I want to point out, we have two infinity symbols present in your reading already. When you play with your resources, your skills, your abilities, your time in the right way, when you play it a little bit loosely, right? Like a rigid schedule would not match this energy. This is like, if something shows up, let's see how we can flow with it, okay? It also could look like changing jobs. It could look like I'm making a change in my career. So maybe I'm keeping the job, but I'm taking night classes because eventually that's going to get me out of here. Or I'm studying this trade, or, whatever. Working on getting out of a path that you don't want to be on. That's just what I'm hearing for some of you. And that is echoed by the Two of Wands. Again, you heard it for the fire signs. It's like, I've got something established here. It stands on its own. But there is something exciting. And again, harken back to the Ace of Wands in the weekly forecast. Might happen around Wednesday. Again, I think it was. Where you have an idea or an inspiration, or somebody goes like, well, why don't you try this? And you go like, oh, that is exciting. But you're still deciding. You're still thinking about, which choice do I want to make? How can I balance my desires? Maybe, is there a way for me to keep, again, the job, the established job, but begin to investigate this other thing that I'm excited about? Or is it an either or thing and I really have to make a binary choice? Your mileage will vary. Looking at the cups, I will bring once again the Five of Swords. Because for a water sign, this is just a natural result of this. Because water sign people, as I am myself, like, we are emotional. We are impressionable. We're vulnerable. Things make an impression on us. Again, I always say like memory foam. Like, just think about that. It's like, yes, like that touched me. No, I'm not impervious to your shitty little words. And as I said before, that person or that place is not worthy of my story or my vulnerability, and there's no convincing them. So I will go and take care of myself, right? I'll show up in the way that I want to, and then I will handle the feelings that I have of loss for the fact that this person would talk to me like that or act like this, or, you know, the other thing that I'm hearing is like that this boss or manager would do this to me after I've put in this many years. That kind of thing where it really feels unfair. That's the Five of Swords, and it is also a feeling that we can have with the Five of Cups of like, it wasn't supposed to be like this. I was supposed to be able to have these. And so feel your feelings, water signs, because we have no choice. We have no choice but to feel our feelings. I guess we could try to freeze them, but we know what that does, right? That just means that it's going to thaw out at some random ass time, and then you're going to be acting out, right? So feel your feelings and remember what is good. Remember what is still here, and grab that and really like sip the juice of life there, okay? Hey, yes, good Lord, the fantasies I have had. What can I just have a panther? Maybe even just an ocelot. Okay, I'll keep it small. An ocelot. Can I have that, please? Okay. I hope that that is helpful, water signs. Now, let's talk to my chatty air signs. Let's talk to Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yes, literally. And I wouldn't, because it's like wrong. But what if like I move to a country and I stumble upon a big cat and it's a kitten, it's a cub, and it was left behind and it's wounded, and I take it in and I heal it, and maybe it just sticks around. Like, it doesn't have to be unethical, right? Like, it could just okay. Okay. I can dream. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Spirit, want to dial in for the air signs to know what is the overarching theme of this week. What do you want to bring to their awareness this week for their highest good? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Beautiful. Okay. And let's look at their money, resources, jobs, opportunity. Yes, yes, exactly. Money, resources, spirit, time, effort, opportunity. What do you want to share with the air signs? Okay. Right off the bat, air signs, I'm hearing the word discernment. It's like spirit is like neon, like Eat at Joe's, but discernment, discernment, discernment. So we'll see what the rest of these cards do, but that's what I'm hearing. About their own element, spirit, the realm of communications, words, thoughts. How is the headspace of the air signs? Okay, another stalker card. And what about the realm of the heart? Relationships, emotions, connections. What do they need to know, Spirit? Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius people in the realm of feelings. Okay? And finally, their fire. What's lighting them up? What's setting them off? What's the vibe? How are the air signs' energy levels? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Well, I can see why discernment is a major player here. First card up. Beautiful card for you this week, air signs. If you want it, you can make it. You know, the magician is like a manifester, right? And think about the Latin roots of the word manifest. Mane, mano, hand, fest, party, hand party. I made it with my hands. Isn't this amazing? I made this happen, right? So this is you. My point is, manifesting doesn't necessarily have to be this thing that like, oh, don't bother me, I'm manifesting. It's like manifesting could be like, yeah, I have this thing that I want, and now I'm taking these actions because I know that the eventuality, this opens the avenue where that manifestation can occur, right? So grabbing it with your hands and working it. The magician spirit is also using the word multi-talented, which makes a lot of sense to me because air sign people, it's like multi-interested, multi-passionate, very like jack of all trades, know a little bit about a lot, that kind of thing, right? So what kind of interesting intersections can you find this week, air signs, in like your skill, your interest, your challenge, your fears, your desires? You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, like I was, maybe I was trained as a journalist, but now I'm doing divination. And maybe there's a wonderful integration where it's like, follow your nose, right? Just as an example. Looking at money, skills, resources, Seven of Pentacles, discernment. What's working? What's not working? What is paying off? What's not paying off? Spirit is being very straightforward with that. So pentacles are, yes, money, but it's anything you can spend. Time, effort, energy. Like, how am I spending my time and effort, and what is paying off and what is not paying off? What could I possibly trim away in order to have the whole plant flourish a little more? Oh, you know what? This branch is a little withered. I could trim that away, or it's a little stunted. I'll just go ahead and trim it away and let these fuller branches get a little bit more of that power from the root system, right? That's what I'm hearing. Let's match that up with the fact that your fire this week, Ten of Wands, says you're going to want to do it all. You want to do it all, and you want to do it fast, which is also a marker of my air sign people, especially maybe my air sign people who have some prominent fire in their charts, where it's like, I'm going to do everything. I'm going. So maybe going a little too, or aiming to go a little too far, a little too fast. Be discerning. Like, yes, it may seem that doing all of the things will get you further faster, but I'm hearing that the reverse is true. Less is actually more, particularly this week. Maybe next week is Spirit's going to give you Eight of Wands and say, go do everything, go do it all. This week they're saying you could actually get your destination sooner and easier if you delete, delegate, drop a couple of wands and say, like, maybe I don't need to do all of this in order to get the outcome that I really want. Okay? That's just what I'm hearing. That is further backed up by Ten of Swords. What are you done with? Done, 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 done. That's the marker of the Ten of Swords. That's how you know you're having a Ten of Swords experience, is like, I'm so bored of thinking or talking about this that, like, I don't even want to have the fight. Like, I don't even want to have the fight. I just want to be done. I just want to walk away. I'm fucking over it. I'm so over it. I'm under it. Okay? But the beautiful thing is, the sun is coming up in the background of this card. So the worst is over. It is accepting the ending for what it is. That was too much, okay? That is something that the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords have in common, as opposed to the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, right? Which are like, more than enough. Too much. Too much. Too much thinking, too much talking, too much scrolling, too much fucking pontificating, too much. Enough. Done. Beat the dead horse into dust. Dust your hands off and walk away. You will go further by doing less. And also, if anybody was worried that the Ten of Swords meant that they would be left, lonely or bereft or etc., that is not the case. Because when we look at the realm of emotions, connection is highly available. And what I'm hearing, air signs, is put yourself out there. As air sign people, we can be inclined to just like kind of take things as they come. But Spirit is saying, if you desire connection, reach out and connect on purpose. And we did have this card pop up during the weekly forecast, and that was something the Spirit said, reach out and touch someone. For my, geriatric millennials, break out my walker. For my Xers, for my boomers, y'all remember, reach out and touch someone. And that's, so Spirit is literally being like, maybe it's even just a phone call. Like, I miss you. How are you doing? I miss connecting with you. I miss what happens when we share our cups together. So practice discernment. Less is definitely more. Okay? That's the headline. You can do it all, and you don't have to. Okay? Okay. I hope that that is helpful, air signs. You know, I don't know if this happens every week, but sometimes I feel like I talk to the air signs fast because I'm like, I know the air sign people like think and talk fast. So it's kind of like, okay, I know you're trying to get out of here. So here's your, there's your forecast. Okay. Now, finally, let us talk to our enduring earth signs. Let's see. What is in the air? What is the overall theme or vibe, spirit, that you want to share with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn people this week, spirit? What is in the air? What unites Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, earth sign people this week? What do you want to share with them? Lovely. Okay. And how about their own element, spirit? Money, effort, jobs, resources. How about their headspace? Does anybody know what I'm thinking right now? I just pulled your Pentacles card. Can anybody take a guess what I might be looking at? What about their headspace, spirit? Their words, the communications, the messages, okay? How about relationships, connections, feelings? What's happening in the emotional realm for the earth signs? And finally, what about their fire? What's lighting them up or pissing them off? How is their energy looking and being directed this week? Well, earth signs, I feel like this is a week where you can truly find out what you're made of. That's something that I'm hearing. First card up, the Chariot. We love to see it. The Chariot is command. The Chariot is, willpower. And what do I mean by willpower? I mean making your choices deliberately, not getting, kind of just going unconscious and like, oops, I ate the whole bag of chips again, when my whole intention was like, I'm going to eat healthier this week. And, I had a stressful day, so my mind kind of went, whoop, and I ate the whole bag of chips, and now I'm feeling like shit about it because I wanted to do this. So it's like, stay conscious, stay on path. You've made a choice about a path that you want to be on, and you want to bring your whole self with you. White Sphinx, dark Sphinx, shadow side, light side, conscious, unconscious. Yes, our unconscious wants to eat the proverbial bag of chips or call the proverbial shitty ex or whatever it is, right? The bad habit or the old way or the shadowy thing. We can acknowledge and honor our shadow side's desires and still make the healthy choice, right? So maybe you want a really delicious salty snack and that's what your fucking shadow side just wants, right? And you can acknowledge that and be like, I'm going to put some things in the house that will feed me in that way, that salty craving that I have, so that I'm not fucking gonna order something crazy or run across the street and grab the worst thing that I can find. I'm gonna put some good shit, but it has, nice good salty shit, some edamame or whatever the fuck, right? Some nice roasted veggies that are all salty so that I can get my salt fix and not fuck myself over. Same thing with like the bad ex or whatever, right? Like I can acknowledge that that person was sexy and compelling, and I can acknowledge that they do not give me what I want. And so, yes, shadow side, that person was sexy and compelling. They never actually fulfilled our emotional needs. We never actually felt like they were a complete partner, right? Like, and we can bring consciousness to this so that this shifts and changes, okay? So, be with your whole ass self, acknowledge your desires, the positive and the negative ones, and deliberately make the choice that is like, and this is what I truly, truly want, okay? And if you take a swerve and you take a detour and you're like, what I truly fucking want is to eat the bag of chips, then eat the goddamn bag of chips. Eat the chips and then get back on your road, okay? Word, exactly. Something like that. Delicious. You are going somewhere. that would be one of the headlines this week, Earth signs. You are going somewhere, so please do not stop yourself. Don't constipate yourself. This is like the Earth sign emblem at this point. We keep pulling this Four of Pentacles, and it makes sense, right? Pentacles are Earth already, right? They're the element of Earth. The number 4, if you know anything about numerology, is a very Earth number. It's square. It's what are the boundaries? It all fits in just like this and only like this. If you take the element of Earth and you slow it down further, like a fucking toy running out of batteries, it's too slow. It's stopped up. Okay? Whereas, for example, this is a brief tarot lesson, right? You take the Four of Wands or the Four of Swords and you take something that is unlimited and ephemeral and you put it inside of a 4, it's very happy. It's actually like, oh, this is a great container for me to do some of my best work with my wands or my swords, right? But this is too contained. This is stopped up and constipated. This is, I don't believe in my ability to go places and have enough. But the Four of Pentacles importantly says you do have enough. And you actually have enough to share. And that the irony is if you share your skill or your money or your time or your effort, you will be more than replenished. So this could even look like, I don't have time for that. But if you make the time for it, you'll discover this is just the way that Spirit has given it to me. Somebody out there is like on a health and nutrition journey, because Spirit is like, I don't have time to work out 30 minutes a day, 4 times a week or whatever it is, right? But the person who decides that like, okay, I feel like I don't have time, but actually what I'll do is I will set 6 5-minute alarms throughout my whole day, 3 hours apart. And for 5 minutes, 6 times a day, I will do some strength training. I will, get up off of my desk and I'll do a plank. And I'll do as many squats as I can do. And I'll do some jumping jacks or whatever. 5 minutes is done. I'm done. I'm on to the next thing. Everybody has 5 minutes, 6 times a day, right? So make it work. And what Spirit was saying about you put in the time, you will get it back. The energy that you are going to begin to have if you put this little 5 minute, 6 times a day thing into place, the energy that you are suddenly going to have over time as you do gain strength and you do speed up your metabolism, you're going to have more energy, more confidence, more ability to do more. So yes, at first you'll feel like I'm giving up this time, or I'm doing this hard thing during this time. I need this time. I want this time. For what? Scrolling on the toilet, right? Like, it's not the most important thing. It might be worth giving up so that you can have and enjoy more. Just what I'm hearing, okay? So, give a little, get a lot. That is something that I'm hearing. When I say you're on the road and you're on the move, you have 2 cards representing journey. And you have 2 cards, importantly, representing a journey going somewhere away from the difficult times, away from the negative or addictive or toxic element, and moving toward clarity and moving toward sense of self, which is very powerful, especially when we put it next to the Chariot, which is about facing obstacles and finding out what we're made of. Because we would never know what we're made of if we didn't face up to certain oppositions or certain struggles or go through certain things, right? So there's ultimately a benefit to coming up against a rival or a difficult new skill that we're trying to acquire. No traction without friction, right? So finding out what you're made of, moving away from what is not good for you anymore and what has kept you stuck. That is something that I'm hearing with the 8 of Cups. And 8 of Cups can be, and this is just something that I'm hearing, can be as simple as like a substance abuse disorder or struggle. I know that I'm drinking too much, or I know that I'm smoking too much, or I know that I'm scrolling too much. I know that I'm whatever. I'm addicted to this or that, and it's not good for me, and it's actually now it's beginning to drain my energy. That's how you'll know what the 8 of Cups is in your life. I used to enjoy this, but now it's increasingly less fun It's diminishing returns, and ultimately it will drain you. It will become less than diminishing returns, and it will actually start to siphon energy and fun and light away from you. So whatever that is, looks like you are ready to move away from it. And importantly, the Chariot is number 7. So as I said, the granddaddy 7, right? The grandmommy 7 of all the 7s. Finding out what you're made of when you step up and say, I'm going to fight for this. I do believe in myself, actually. I'm going to go ahead and grab what I'm good at or what I want to do, and I'm going to throw my fucking hat in the ring, and I'm going to go for it. And I am willing to face some opposition, because this is what the fuck I want. And if I face some opposition, I'm going to use it to learn and to get better, right? Something I often think of with the Chariot is like, if you are going on a road trip somewhere, a cross-country road trip, and you get a flat tire, or you get into a fender bender, or you get into traffic, or you hit a detour, you do not say, this was a sign from God saying they don't want me going on this road trip. I can't, it's impossible. I'm never going to get there. I got to turn around. I got to stop. No. You go like, oh, damn, I got to change the tire, or, oh, God, I got to sit in traffic, or now I got to reroute and find a different way. And you do. And you find out what you're made of. So choose to get out of your comfort zone a little bit this week. And I believe that you can find out what you're made of and be like, oh, damn, I'm actually way more capable than I was thinking, or way more excited about this than I even thought, because I gave myself a chance to just try it on. That's just what I'm hearing. Okay. Thank you for being here, y'all. It is great to see you again. I'm very happy to be back. Excited to see you next week. We'll have more to talk about. In the meantime, take care. Be yourself on purpose. Don't feel guilty about being who the fuck you are and doing what the fuck you need to. And if other people have a problem with it, that is their problem to deal with, because that is an awakening for them. Okay? Okay. Oh, you are so welcome, Maria. So happy to be here. So happy to see all of y'all. Got some videos for y'all to edit, so those will be popping up soon, and I will go do that. Take care. See y'all next week.